Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Jerry Ford and I will be your host for this TLC session. We're excited that you've joined us today. The presentation is entitled The Power of Professional Learning Communities for Maximizing Student Achievement and Retention. Please welcome Dr. Angela Dallas.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you all for participating. Thank you for sharing. You can change the slide, Jerry. I really appreciate you guys for taking time to attend this session. Next slide is our objectives.
There we go.
Yes. For this session, I'm going to share some information about professional learning communities, elaborate some on the purpose of PLCs, explain what works specifically for our Department of Education and why our PLCs work for us as relates to seeing an increase in student achievement and retention. Next slide. Thanks, Jerry. Our overall PLCs, just general information and characteristics for PLCs, they are used to build capacity for structured teamwork with a shared vision. It is action-oriented, shared decision-making, commitment to continuous improvement, teaching and learning, and results-oriented. So when PLCs are developed, they are developed with a purpose in mind, and everybody believes in that purpose and striving to reach that goal that is identified. And for the purpose of our PLCs, for the Department of Ed Studies, it specifically focused on student achievement and retention. Next slide, Jerry. For our PLCs, everybody is included. We have one goal, and that goal is our question is how can we constantly improve what we're doing to impact our student achievement and retention. And when we say all are included, we have our full-time faculty and our associate faculty participate in PLCs so that we can enhance academic achievement and student retention across the board. And we constantly ask that question, and we always go back to the goal question, how can we improve what we're doing to increase our numbers? We're consistent with our meetings, our collaboration efforts, and our focus. We have a driven focus for our PLCs. And beside that, it says EPIC. And we want to make sure that our PLCs are engaging. They're practical, innovative, and consistent. And as you continue to conduct PLCs on a regular basis, they are empowering, pragmatic, impeccable, and candid, because you have to have those candid conversations about what's happening or not happening, or what's working or not working in order to move forward. The PLCs, our PLCs are constantly evolving. They're always purpose-driven. They're informative and compelling as well. We constantly have our follow-up and follow-through. And the acronym there is IADOM. And every participant on our team, full-time and associate faculty, participate in our PLCs. And we all believe that it all depends on me. We work collaboratively, but we all have an individual stake in what we do to see the outcomes that we're expecting. And we expect those outcomes. And to make sure that we get the outcomes that we expect, then we make no excuses, we challenge critical thinking, we set high expectations, we insist on results, we require rigor, and we leave nothing, absolutely nothing to chance. We collaborate continuously, we provide information and support to each other, and we monitor and adjust accordingly. We share ideas and strategies about what's happening, what's working, what's not working, how things are going in our classes, what can we do differently to reach students based on their individual needs, because one one strategy does not work for all students. One technique does not work for all students, but we do have a systematic approach of working with our students and working with each other to make sure that we achieve our goal, which is student retention and academic achievement. And we emphasize high quality learning. Everybody has an opportunity to participate in the decision making. We support each other in our practices. We share examples of practices that produces outcomes that are aligned to our goals. And we allocate time for collaboration. Next slide, Jerry. Thanks. For our PLCs, we have a mission, and I don't want to read that to you, but the gist of it is that we work together and we collaborate in a psychologically safe environment to provide support and assistance to each other as we strive to meet our goals and ultimately transform society as we work with our students across the board. Next slide, Jerry. The components of the PLCs, you have to have a shared vision and mission. Everybody has to be on one accord. There's collective commitments. We have to trust each other. We have common organizational goals, organizational structures, decision-making processes, the best use of our time. We inspect that we expect, and everybody is accountable. Accountability is a major component of making sure that we do what we do and use our time wisely and make sure that we stay focused on what is our goal of how we can improve what we do to impact student achievement and retention. And with that accountability would take us back to making sure that our PLCs are engaging, empowering, and making a difference. We leave nothing to chance, and we make no excuses. So the accountability is universal for every member of the group, and we share that commonality to make sure that we reach our goals. Next slide, Jerry. We have scheduling and how frequent we meet. Sometimes we meet every other month, sometimes we meet monthly, and between our formal PLC meetings, we have informal meetings where we talk about things that are working or not working, things are happening in a profession, how can we best serve our students, things that they may need or not need, share resources, and things of that nature. We have a collective decision of how we can meet. We haven't gotten around to meeting face-to-face yet. We're still working on that one, but we do have our Zoom meetings, and we do FaceTime each other, and Skype is available for us. For every meeting, it is focus driven, and we have an agenda that we follow. And that agenda consists of things that we're trying to do. It's always a quote that we use for reflection about relating to what we do as educators and how we want to impact society. Next slide, Jerry. This slide is a graph of a visual of the components that it takes for to improve academic achievement and student retention. And each of those components are things that happen within our PLCs. So each component that surrounds student achievement and retention are things that take place as relates to our meetings and discussing and collaborating about how can we do what we do better to constantly improve academic achievement and student retention. And for our department, over the past 4 years, we've seen increases in student retention and decreases in students leaving the program. So those retention rates are higher. They have grown based on our consistency with our shared vision with everybody on our team and those associate faculty members who teach the courses in our program. The next slide is a list of references, and the final slide is let us know that it's time for our question and answer session. There are no questions. Thank you all for attending. I really appreciate your attendance. I hope that we've shared some information that is beneficial to you. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day. And please enjoy the rest of the presentations over the next 2 days.
Thanks so much for your presentation, Dr. Dallas, and thank you all for joining this session. Enjoy the rest of the TLC.